Happy Friday, Medina Bees. Welcome to this week's edition of the Superintendent's Desk. This week I have three topics I'd like to briefly share with you. The first is regarding state report card and the recent release of our Medina City Schools grades, as well as the upcoming Parent Ed Camp, and finally Spirit Night that's coming up the end of next week. First, I'd like to send out a huge thank you to our students specifically, all of our staff, as well as our parents and our community for your support. I'm very happy with our level of achievement on the state report card. This is the first year that the state has released an overall grade for the report card, and we've earned a B, which I think is outstanding, especially for the first time out. Now, the way the overall grade works is it's an accumulation of all the various grades within the report card to give an overall grade. Kind of like in school, you get a grade at the end of the quarter, and all the assignments and tests throughout the quarter make up the grade. Also, just like in school, not all sections of the report card are worth the same amount. So some of those grades that you look at, if you look at the report card breakdown, count for more towards that overall grade than others, just like a test would count for more than a homework assignment. Generally, the sections that are related to either student achievement, student growth, student progress are rated at a higher level towards that overall grade. Now, to compare how we've done with a B across the district, which I do think it's important to take that look, only 31.4% of districts were able to earn an overall B on the state report card. So we're in that top quarter percent of districts across the state in terms of our students' achievement. The one section that I find most important and intriguing within the report card is the progress, and I've talked about this the last 2 years. The progress section has been in the past referred to value added. What progress shows is it shows the amount of growth that our students have over the course of a school year. Now, within progress, the state is looking for students to make 1 year's growth. So if you look at the breakdown of letter grades, a C being average typically indicates that you're going to have that 1 year's worth of growth within your student, which is a good standard. We've received an A. That to me says that our students are going beyond a year's growth over the course of the school year. And that's to the support that we get from our community, from our parents, from our staff, and from our students in helping them to achieve. The reason why we're here and we're doing what we do is to help our students academically grow. Yes, we set benchmarks and we measure whether they're reaching benchmarks or not. However, I think it's even more important to look at the growth. You look at maybe a student who's really struggling and they're far from the benchmark. It takes them a lot more growth than a student at a typical level or even a gifted student in order to reach that benchmark. What's really impressive is when you're able to show that large amount of growth over the course of the year, and you don't just show it in your students that were maybe having a difficult time, but you also show it in your students that are doing really well. If you look at a gifted student and they're already testing at the top, they have less room to grow. So to be able to have so many high performing students and show that growth at all levels is really something to be proud of. Gap closing, I'm happy to say that we've had significant improvement in that score last school year. The last 2 years we have been at a C. This year we earned a B, and that is an area that we have been putting a focus and priority on. What gap closing looks at is the different subgroups within a school district and how those subgroups are achieving compared to all the students as a whole. For example, it breaks students down by race. It breaks students down by if they have a disability, if they're rated as gifted. And the goal is to see which students are achieving the lowest and get everybody up to the same bar. Well, we are making progress. We've gone from a C to a B, which means in those subgroups that maybe have been doing quite as well as the general population are improving and doing much better. So that fits right within our philosophy of every student every day, and we'll continue to work on that gap closing and increasing those scores. So what does this report card say overall? You have to take it with a grain of salt. I think you all know the challenges that have been coming out of Columbus over the last several years in regards to state testing, as well as in regards to all the changes to the state report card. As proud as I am of this report card and as much as I want to celebrate it, I do want to keep in mind that it's just one little piece of how we're performing. If you take a look at our quality profile, which we linked in the letter that was sent out by myself and Tina Cassidy, our Director of Instruction, about the report card just yesterday, you can visit our quality profile. It's actually an older quality profile. We'll be releasing the new one here in the coming weeks. But that quality profile goes into things beyond just test scores. We all know that it takes more than math, reading, writing, and science to make our students successful in life. You have to take into account the arts, the extracurricular programming, the community activities, the volunteerism, because our goal here at Medina City Schools is to develop well-rounded students that are going to be successful citizens. And again, this report card is just one little piece of that. What does this report card show us overall? I think the most important thing that it shows me isn't the B's or the A's, but is looking at the overall big picture of how we're doing as a district. We've implemented a strategic plan a couple of years ago. Our teachers and staff have been working very hard to implement new programming and new curriculum. And I think what we're seeing is a constant increase in performance, at least over the last 2 to 3 years. Last year, we were actually fortunate enough to earn the Momentum Award, which was presented to districts who were making considerable improvements over the course of multiple school years. And I think that's reflected right into this year and into this current report card where we're continuing to show improvement. Again, I'm very proud of our Bs. It's the product of our community, our students, staff, and all of us collaborating and working together, and we will continue to move Medina forward. Next Wednesday is our Parent Ed Camp. This is the 3rd annual Parent Ed Camp, and it's being held at the high school. I'd like all of you to attend. Parents, please come and learn. It starts at 6 o'clock and runs to 8:30. Kids First is running a fundraiser, a spaghetti dinner before the event. Come have spaghetti and then join us and learn about our district and things that are going on in the district. I want you to know that we have listened to your feedback. We have received surveys from parents and attendees of the event, and we tried to switch things around this year to provide more of the learning sessions that you showed us you were interested in, as well as making more opportunities for you to go to more of the events. So please join us on Wednesday night. Then on Friday night is our annual Spirit Night. Come out and tailgate with us at 5:30 to 7, right up to the start of the football game. We're going to have a party celebrating our Bs, welcoming our new kindergartners. I believe they're the class of 2031 to Medina City Schools, and it's a great kickoff for our school year. I'm looking forward to our battling Bs destroying the Shaker Heights Raiders. A couple shout outs before I say good weekend. Our musical Bs are performing on Saturday. It is their annual band show. Come out and support them. They always do an outstanding job and have been down in the state competition every year that I've been here. Also, I want to give a shout out to our Fen students. They had their fantastic Fen Fun Run today, raising money through the PTO as well as promoting healthy lifestyles for our young students, and they did an outstanding job. And I'll have more information coming to you through social media on that at another time. I hope everybody's had a great week. It's nice to have all of our students back for a full week this week. Looking forward to the weekend, and we'll be back at it on Monday. Thank you.